All right, friends, thanks for joining in. Let me hope you get me very well. A good evening, a good morning, a good afternoon, a good day, wherever you are watching this or you are listening this from. Yes, I want to give you updates and highlights of the day as it went. You know, a lot has been happening and a lot is still happening. The good news today, our legal team of NUP managed to file the election petition, and of course the Supreme Court received the petition. And then the other thing, our mayor for Jinja City, that is Alton Kasoro, managed to win the case as well. Remember, this other guy of NRM was challenging his win and he petitioned the court for a recount. Actually, the guy who petitioned the court was the third, that guy for NRM. The second one was for FDC, and the first, our mayor, was for NUP. So the third guy petitioned the court for recount, but the court today dismissed the case. So because the margin was too much, the margin was over 4,000 votes. Yeah, so that's how our mayor for Jinja City managed to win that case. And then when it goes to our brothers, that is Mutwe, Nubinali, Bobi Wine, Chuma Chayesu, and all those other friends of ours, yeah, they were brought to court in Machindi today, and of course you saw what happened. The court was adjourned up to the 8th of this month, so they are coming back next Monday. Some of them are very sick, some cannot even move properly, they can't walk, they are very sick, they are in a very terrible situation. Let's continue raising voices of their immediate release, and as well as praying for them, because a lot, I'm very sure, is happening to our comrades. I remember yesterday our president Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert came out with a document that was directed to NTV, the protest letter. Today, before we go through that, let me give you an insight of what a former journalist at NBS said today. This is what he said. The guy said, he's called what is his name? Let me see. Yeah, that's Moses Walugembe. This is a former journalist. He's a former journalist at NBS. Sorry, NBS. So they said Bobi Wine didn't attack NBS TV like many are trying to make it look like. The protest letter to NBS TV is based on facts, which many of us, having worked there, know. They claimed to have a tally center which never existed and lied to the public that results were laid. Results they laid were from reporters on the ground, which was not the case. It was a lie. Let them challenge me on that. They therefore knew what they were doing, just as they did in 2016 elections. Well planned and aided the state Museveni to announce fabricated results, and I can be sued if I'm lying. I have evidence to that. Now the core codes of journalism, standards and ethics include accuracy and factual reporting, truthfulness, impartiality, and public accountability. They fell short of all these. Fact is, they knowingly connived with the state to declare results engineered in a hotel room, which they knew were not from their own reporters, who were in the field sending correct results from polling stations, while the true results were trashed and instead relayed those given to them well fabricated. Walugembe continues to say that I know that I know what I'm talking about. I have been there. Kenneth, this is a fact. Let them challenge it. We need to protect this profession called journalism from those who misuse it. We are the fourth estate. That is Walugembe. That is Walugembe Moses. Walugembe Moses is a former journalist is a former journalist at NBS. Actually, when you go to his Facebook, let me see if I can go to his I don't know, let me try it out. Facebook, what is this guy? Let me see. Warugembe. Let me see. Yeah, here's Warugembe. This Warugembe Moses, when you go to his profile, is a former journalist at NBS Television, media, whatever, fellow at WK or W27. This is an affiliate of ABS News. Yeah, he's a former. In brief, the most important thing that we want to know is that he has ever worked at NBS TV, and he knows what happens there. So this is the statement he wrote that I've been reading for you, highlighting how NBS does it. Yesterday, you all know that our president Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert came out with this statement. Let us go through it as well. This is the one our president Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert. It is dated, that is 27th January 2021. The Chief Executive Officer, Next Media Services Limited, that is the NBS. So, protest letter, dear sir, protest letter against NBS Television for conspiring with other actors to defeat the will of the people of Uganda. Reference is made to broadcasts by your NBS Television on and in the aftermath of the 14th January 2021 presidential elections, in which I was an aspirant. You are aware that I rejected with contempt the purported outcome of the said election because the entire electoral process was neither free nor fair. I take strong exception to the biased election day reporting the NBS TV made against me during its live coverage of the election. NBS TV attributed to me false results, moreover from an unknown source, which did not match with the relevant declaration of result forms. Throughout the broadcast, the station relayed altered results from presumed strongholds of General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Tibuhaburwa, the purported winner of the elections, hence creating the false impression that I was losing to him. Captain Kyagulanyi continues to say that NBS lied to the nation that the results being delayed were coming from districts, some of which had not even finished tallying results by the time of the broadcast. Every sensible citizen could see that there was a deliberate play to create the impression that General Museveni was in an early lead, hence putting down the spirits of citizens who braved the sun and rain to vote for change. It is unfortunate that you used your station to conspire with the regime in order to defeat the will of the people of Uganda. You will recall that in many countries, corporations like yours have chosen to side with the regimes in power against the people in situations of great moral conflict. Whether they do it for material gain or other considerations, they will never escape the consequences of their depravity. I hope you will reflect deeply on your actions and apologize to the people of Uganda. N'ateekako omukono Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert, President, National Unity Platform. That was the protest letter, and of course you saw what happened. Of course, people started unfollowing NBS and all that kind of thing. Of course, it is still ongoing, and of course you saw that too. So NBS as well came out, and this is what NBS just said today. It is saying that NBS television, let me see if I can, I don't know. Yeah, this is NBS Public Notice, 1st February 2021. It says NBS television has a greater purpose to always serve Uganda first with objectivity. and uphold professionalism throughout fair and balanced coverage. Via social media, our attention was drawn to a letter addressed to us dated 27th January 2021 from Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi alleging conspiracy and bias in the 2021 election reporting on our party. These allegations are baseless and unfounded. We have consistently provided equal opportunity to all political players irrespective of their inclinations. Because of this, we have continuously received similar sentiments from government, opposition, and the general public alike, especially when it's not in their favor. We commit to avail our platforms to all stakeholders in order to provide broad, balanced, and relevant reporting for the transformation of Uganda and Africa at large. Now signing Desire Deleko Ford Mugumisa, head of PR, Public Relations and Communications. So that was a response from NBS, but you can even see the response. It doesn't bring out what you would expect from a platform like NBS. You understand? So anyway, I no longer give it credit. I no longer regard it as such. Actually, I did not start today to not follow it or even watch its news. I started way back when I started reading signs of its double standards and all that kind of thing. Of course, it is a state TV. They used it deliberately, and those who were casting or who were broadcasting those news on the 14th, 15th, and 16th, they knew what they were doing was wrong. Because, guy, they put off internet on the 13th, 14th, and actually 5 days after. But these guys, within like 2 or 3 hours, they were getting results from different parts across this country. Results that have taken Electoral Commission 2 weeks to compile. Don't forget to remember that the Electoral Commission also, it took it 2 days, actually 48 hours, to announce Museveni as a winner. But it has taken Electoral Commission more than 2 weeks to compile and give us what they were reading. And then you wonder, where did they get those results? The first day and the second day they announced Museveni. So there are very many inconsistencies. That's why this guy, I've liked Moses Walugembe. He came out and nailed them. He said Bobi Wine didn't attack NBS TV like many are trying to make it look like. The protest letter to NBS is based on facts which many of us having worked there know. So people who have worked at NBS, they know how these guys play their games. So Zimbagamba, let us continue doing our best. Let us focus on the platforms that give us reliable information. Let us focus on those platforms that we have always used in order to get what is right. But more so, our platforms, the ones that you know, online platforms, because these others, they are already compromised. So basically, that is that. I was very happy for Moses Walugembe to come out, because such an action he did, coming out to hit them hard as well, that was a bold move, man. It is a very bold move, eh? Very few can do so. Very few can do so. So that's why Kyagulanyi, Sentamu, Robert, together with the very many others, of course they sat. Considering all those flaws, all those inconsistencies during the voting, you saw how voting took place in different parts of this country. This wasn't an election. Actually, after the petition, very many media platforms have come out to also grab the attention of Bobi Wine challenging the result in court. Platforms like the WTV, Reuters, the Guardian. Actually, I'm going to take you through, I think, the Guardian. Here, the Guardian has put up a very, nice article about today's events. I think let us go through it. Very many have come out to grab the attention of today's events. Like, this is Guardian. This is DWTV, Uganda election. Bobi Wine challenges result in court. And then when you go to The Guardian, it's also having an article on that. When you go to Reuters, it is having an article on that. Uganda opposition leader Bobi Wine challenges election result in court. When you go to this one is what? Is it AA? Yeah, AA.com. I don't know where this one is. Yeah, it also has an article on that. When you go to Associated Press, it also has an article on that. Uganda's Bobi Wine goes to court to dispute president's win. When you go to ABC News, Uganda's Bobi Wine goes to court to dispute president's win. When you go to African News, the same article on that. Bobi Wine files election petition contesting Museveni win. When you go to very many SABC News, this one's from South Africa, Yahoo News, Uganda opposition, Reuters still. When you go to Toronto Star, yeah, Toronto Star, Uganda's Bobi Wine goes to court to dispute president's win. When you go to, which one is this? sfgate.com, yeah, is also having Uganda's Bobi Wine goes some article, and very many others. Yeah, BBC as well. But let us go through the one for Guardian. Yeah, the Guardian says it has highlighted the some other articles, of course, from the previous events that have been happening. It says Uganda opposition leader Bobi Wine calls on court to nullify election result. Party lawyer accuses a re-elected President Yoweri Museveni. Let me actually bring this like this. I think it will be far much better there. So yeah, party lawyer accuses the re-elected President Yoweri Museveni of being an agent of violence. So let us straight go to the article, of course, by Samuel Okilo, the correspondent of The Guardian in Kampala. This was today at around 12:44. The Ugandan opposition leader and presidential challenger Bobi Wine has filed a petition at the country's highest court to challenge the re-election of Yoweri Museveni in last month's polls. Wine, whose real name is Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, wants the Supreme Court in the capital Kampala to nullify the victory of Museveni in the 14 January poll. Museveni, 76, who has ruled Uganda without pause since seizing control in 1986, when he helped to end years of tyranny under Idi Amin and Milton Obote, claimed a 65-year term, extending his rule to 4 decades, according to official results. What we want from the court is nullification of that election where Museveni was declared. We do not want him to participate in elections in Uganda again because he is an agent of violence, said Medad Segona, the lead lawyer acting on behalf of Wine and his National Unity Platform, in bracket NUP. All elections he has participated in have been violent elections. He is a common denominator in the electoral violence of this country. We don't want him to participate again. Wine, a 38-year-old register, said he was the winner of the election and has alleged the military was stuffing ballot boxes, casting ballots for people and chasing voters away from polling stations. We have come to report the thieves. We know who stole them, blacked votes. We have collected and we are still collecting evidence. We have brought it to the courts of law, said Segona. The suspects, in bracket correspondence, are 3: Yoweri Museveni, Electoral Commission of Uganda, and Attorney General of this Republic. We have done the paperwork and we are still collecting evidence. We have gone through a lot. We have been in the hiding because we knew they wanted these documents. Museveni has dismissed allegations of vote rigging, calling the election the most cheating-free since independence from Britain in 1962. I think we shall come back here. I've loved this statement that Museveni has dismissed allegations of vote rigging, calling the election the most cheating-free since independence from Britain in 1962. This guy doesn't know that he has been the president for the past 35 years and is calling this. Okay, we shall come back to that. So the article continues to say, Joel Senyong, a spokesperson for Wine's party, said there were two schools of thought among members and supporters about the decision to take legal action. There are those saying going to court is a waste of time. It's just going to legitimize Museveni because we know how the courts will rule, and we agree. We don't have 100% trust in the courts. The other, though we know the court justice are appointed by Museveni and they have always ruled things in his favor, we shall get to use it as a platform to expose the fraud that this election was. We have overwhelming evidence for the court to base its verdict. The courts are on trial. Let's see how they, the judges, deal with the situation. This is the fourth petition Museveni has faced, with the veteran opposition leader Kizza Besigye challenging his victories in 2001, 2006, and then the former Prime Minister Mbabazi launching a court challenge in 2016. Justin Kasulu Lumumba, the Secretary General for the National... I don't want to read what this guy said because that's not substance for Kasulu Lumumba. Now, going back to this statement, of course, that's where it ended. For those who would love to read more about this, the comments, what people are saying down there, all you need to do is to go to this site. This is theguardian.com. So I want to come back here. Museveni dismissing allegation of voter rigging. Guys, let me hope now you know what took place during elections. I'm very sure I did not get to know on that exact day, actually 5 days after the election, simply because the internet was totally disconnected. Once they disconnect the internet, you know what to do. You know what happens. You can't communicate. This is a global village. You can watch from wherever you are, provided you can be connected to the World Wide Web. So the first 5 days after elections, the internet was totally disconnected. But after restoration of internet, you saw what happened, and you continue to see the evidence that keep coming out. Museveni alleging that this was the most cheating free since independence. Actually, I pause and think about this guy as a certified liar, because this is the guy who has been the president for the past 35 years. This is the 60th term, implying calling this the most cheating free. Then you wonder what happened in 2016. You wonder what happened in 2001. And then you wonder what happened in 2011 and all those other years. Because just know that for the past 3 times this guy has stood, he has simply been cheating these elections. But this time around, he's facing a different generation that is both hungry and very angry for a non-fictional social, economic, and political change. It is a generation that never gives up until it achieves what it wants. And at this particular time, it doesn't want to go to the bush. It doesn't want to shed blood. It doesn't want to go to hold guns and all that kind of thing, because that is Museveni's area of expertise. That's what he has been pushing us to do, and our president Kyagulanyi Ssentamu has been instructing Ghanaians to be non-violent in order to achieve this change that we badly need. And yes, we shall achieve it. So this is not a generation to play around with. Calling this the most cheating free since independence, wow, this guy is not a joke. So in brief, is certifying, or I don't even know how to put it. In brief, as if he's telling us that in 2016 it was too much, in 2011 it was too much, and even in 2001 the rigging was too much. So in brief, like this time the rigging was not all that much, because you guys have seen the videos you know, that have been making, saturating on social media. The army chasing our agents of NUP, the police, about staffing, the army confiscating the ballot books and taking them in favor of Museveni, and then brings them back, and then voters don't have where to tick because all ballot papers have been ticked by the army in favor of Museveni. You've seen all these videos. For those who have not seen the videos, just to go on this same channel. Yesterday I uploaded for you that compilation. You can also go to our Facebook page, that is JB Muwonge Facebook page. You are going to see all those videos. You can also go to Bobi Wine's official Facebook page. You are going to see all those videos. What I can say to you, a lot is still there. There is too much evidence that you cannot even finish. When you go to the results that were uploaded by the Electoral Commission, oh my goodness, I keep asking you guys to critically analyze those results as well. Tuwebereremu results ezo tuzikole ki? Tuzitunuulize, kwegamba tuzitunuulire. Someone is telling me that the sound is bad. First, hold on a minute. Let me see. Is it okay, guys? Body sound. What's wrong with the sound, guys? Okay, then I have to. Okay, let me first give you this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for taking interest in this process. It is part of our liberation struggle and is part of our democratization process. As you all are aware, we witnessed so many challenges in these elections, including but not limited to what you're witnessing up there. That's what we've been going through for the last 5 months. The brutalization of our supporters, coordinators and campaign team. Above all, the brutalization of our candidates. You must have been following and watching videos from across the country. Polling stations where soldiers would come and invade polling stations, where they would come with pre-ticked ballots, where they would come and pick ballot papers, tick and then stuff into the box. You must have witnessed the inflation of the register. You saw how Museveni's votes were inflated. You saw how the entire electoral process turned into a war situation, a situation of terror. Those of you who are young and not as old as myself must have seen, or you cannot have seen. People of my age must have seen how Museveni participated in the 1980 election, 1996, 2001, 2006, 2011, 2016 and 2021. So you get to the inevitable conclusion that is the commonest and only common denominator in the electoral violence in our history. And therefore, you know that any election that Museveni participates in can never be a peaceful election, can never be a free and fair election demanded by the Constitution of the Republic. You must have seen how Museveni has been humiliated at the polling stations across the country, except where there was no voting. In this country, there are places which Museveni has turned into no-go zones. They find your supporter, they find your agent, your coordinator, he will be arrested. Thousands of Ugandan people are in prison. They are in CMI in Buya, which is the latest torture chamber created by Museveni and his henchmen. Much India, the court martial, it is turned into a place for settling political scores. A conglomeration of all those and other complaints would lead us to one inevitable conclusion, that Museveni cannot be left to cheat and steal scot-free. That background is enough to bring us here, and this is where we are. This is one of the steps and stages in our democratization process. And I think it is the civil way to go. We've had questions. How do you go to those courts? How do you trust them, etc.? You must let every Ugandan and every Ugandan institution do their work. The voters did their work, they spoke. The Electoral Commission facilitated one man to cheat against the voters' will. The Electoral Commission did its work rather imperfectly. We are here. You must allow court to do its work. We are here to allow court to do its work and execute its mandate. You want me to tell you the next step after court? You want to hear that? Yes. Celebration. And swearing in the new president. So if Judge Yoweri thought he's safe, he's not yet there. No time for merrymaking. I know he's hiding. We are going to look for him, we shall trace him, and we shall serve him the summon from court. That's the way to go. This game is not yet over until it's over. Not yet, because the Electoral Commission, the suspects must also be given time to file their response. We are also continuing to collect evidence from across the country. We may continue in hiding the same way we've been doing, because we know they've been looking for these papers. We know they are looking for more evidence. Immediately after the election, they placed our president under house arrest to avoid him signing this petition. For us to be able to get him out to sign this petition, we had to go to court, as you are aware. Immediately after the election, as we were collecting our declaration of results forms from across the country, they were arresting, torturing and beating our coordinators wherever they would find them with DRA forms. We were photocopying our DRA forms for purposes of tallying. They went to where we were photocopying from, arrested the person photocopying, and took them. Stupid enough, some of them even had to acknowledge them as exhibits. Exhibit over which offense? General inquiry. That they were conducting a general inquiry. The same uncivilized group came and took over our offices in Kamwe. As we speak, we cannot access some of the documents. And they thought rather mischievously that way we would not be able to file this petition. I can tell you, we have filed it. They are looking for these papers. Some are somewhere up in the sky. They will not access them. The respondents stroke suspects are the perennial suspect, Yoweri, Tibohaburwa, Museveni, Yeseri, Kaguta. The other one is the usual suspect, the statutory suspect, Electoral Commission. And the third is the Attorney General of Uganda, who let the dogs out onto the streets. Those are the suspects, those are the respondents.
So are you more the cost of court that you've been admitted?
Sorry?
The costs in the court.
The costs we have paid.
And how much is that?
The statutory fee.
What did you say will happen after the court?
After the court? Celebration.
My question was, there were two options. Why wouldn't you ask court to look at the results and declare your candidate the winner? Why would you rather go for a nullification and call for a fresh election?
We still want Museveni to lose weight. We will have to go back for another election. Museveni will lose weight, he will faint. And that way, Uganda will be safe. Uganda.
Amina.
Ekitulese wano si kizibu kutegeera. Okuveda ne kubanga enkoko ngukwata agibye n'omutwala ku kitawuluzi muluka ne mmujjawo ne mmutwala ku ggombolola. Museveni yatubba tumulese ku ggombolola. Bwe mumusangako eyo mutukubire kati mmanya ali ku misinda adduka. Kubanga alemeddwa okutubbako empapula gye tubadde tuzikolera nga batuyigga era nga tebamanyi. Babba declaration of results forms ne bakuba abaana baffe ababeera nga bazikuŋŋaanya mu field ne babasiba ne bazitwala. Ne balowooza nti ekyo tekibamalidde ne bakwata president ne bamugalira mu maka ge aleke kusayininga petition. Ne batakoma ku ekyo ne bazingako ekitebe kyaffe bagaliremu empapula n'obujulizi nga tebamanyi nti obumu ku bujulizi twabukweka mu bbanga mu bwengula. Ab'omulembe gwa Museveni kizibu okutegeera ki kye twakola okuwanika obujulizi mu bbanga. Ab'omulembe guno mukitegeera. Omubbi tumukutte tumulese ku ggombolola. Tumaze okumuwaabira ne semanisi zifulumira. Ekiddako okumuyigga we tunaamusanga wonna. Oba yeekwese wansi wa kitanda, oba yeekwese mu kiraalo kya Nteeze, akimanye nti tumuyigga era tugenda mufuna tumuwe empapula zino atajja guma zambiro. Alina okujjako wano ate mwetaaga. Museveni tumwetaaga mu kaguli ekyabeere nga akimanyi. Mumanyi bulungi nti Museveni abadde mu bululu bwonna obwa Uganda obubaddemu obuvuyo. 1980 ab'emyaka gyange mukimanyi. Najja mu 1996, 2001, 2006, 2011, 2016 ne kano kasembyeyo okwetabamu. Nga konna ajja akoleramu effujjo n'obuvuyo. Abavubuka ab'emyaka gya Yoweri tibuhabulwa abakola effujjo mu bululu ne batatta n'ensi n'erinnya lya Uganda bubakeeredde. Guno gwe gugenda okubeera omulundi gwe okwesimba mu kalulu ka Uganda okukakoleramu effujjo. Eno y'emu ku steps gyegimu ku mitendera mwe tuyise okutebenkeza Uganda. Tugenda kujja ku kiddako era mumbuuzizza naye kati bwe munaava mu kkooti ki ekiddako. Bwe tuva mu kkooti ekiddako kujaguza. Mubadde mulina ekirala kye musuubira mbagambe ekiddako. Tetugenda kussa byakulwanyisa wansi okutuusa nga tuwangudde olutalo nga n'engula eyambaddwa. Ffe tetuzze kumenyawo institutions za Uganda oba ebitongole. Tuzze kunyweza bitongole bya Uganda kyekituleeta mu gavumenti empya. Buli muntu mumuwa omukisa akola omulimu gwe. Anaagukola obulungi ajja kwambala engule. Anaagukola obubi ayina empeera ye. Abalonzi baakola ogwabwe ne bagukola bulungi. Omubbi n'akwata mu kalulu. Akakiiko k'ebyokulonda bwe twakawa omukisa okukola omulimu gwako ne kagukola bubi. Tuzze mu kkooti naye ekola omulimu gwayo. Saagala kutandika kudda mu byemabega wadde ebyokuteebereza. Kkooti katugireke ekola omulimu gwayo, bw'eneemala gukola olyoka ogiramule. Saagala kulamula gwe siwadde mukisa. Waliwo abalamuzi bangi wano abateetaba mu misango egyayita. Waliwo ebintu bingi wano ebikyuse. Fe omulimu gwaffe kukuŋŋaanya bujulizi. Tulina bwe tukuŋŋaanyizza ne tubuleeta wano, obulala tubukwese mu bwengula n'obulala tukyabukuŋŋaanya. Buli alina obujulizi butuleetere. Eno ensi ebakwatako. Buli alina obujulizi bwonna obulumiko eyabba obululu tutegeeze tutuukirire. Tujja kubukwata tubukuŋŋaanye tubuleete mu mbuga gye baleeta aboonoonyi. Omwonoonyi tumulina n'ekirala atulabira ku Museveni. Temumuyamba kwekweka guno tajja gumazambiro mututemyeko kubanga tumuyigga. Tajja kwekweka. ateeka okujja wano okwewozaako. Tuwaabye ku lwa pulezidenti waffe wa National Unity Platform era yawangula okulonda kuno Robert Sentamu Kyagulanyi. Tuwaabidde ababba obululu n'ababayambako mu kubba obululu. Eyabba obululu si mulala Yoweri Tibuhaburwa, Yeseri Museveni Kaguta, bangamba mutabani wa Kaguta. Tujja muyiggayo ne bw'anaagenda ku ttaka lye yasikira erya Kaguta, tujja muyiggayo. Abamuyambako okubba obululu ke kakiiko k'ebyokulonda nako kali mu mbuga, kalinda semanisi zaako. Omuntu ow'okusatu ge magye ne poliisi tuwaabidde Attorney General abatwala abawolereza kubanga yawolereza ababi era abamenyi b'amateeka. Abo be basatu be tuleese mu mbuga.
Lwaki musazeewo okusaba kkooti okulonda kuddibwemu okusinga okulangirira Bobi Wine Kyagulanyi? Tukyayagala Museveni okulaba ng'akogga. Twagala tumuzzeeyo. Museveni twagala tumuzzeeyo. Ne bw'anaabazze kuwagirani kubanga jjukira tusabye tebamukkiriza okuddamu okwetaba mu kalulu. Naye ne gw'anaaba aleese okuwagira n'ayimirira naye katuuti. Twagala akogge naye. Oba oli awo omutima gwe tunaaba tuli awo ne gukola emitima gy'abakadde abalala kye gikola okusalawo okwewummuza. Kati mbadde mulowooza ebintu ebitava mu mwaka temuvaayiriza mbamanyi. Omusango bagenda tutegeeza bannaffe abakulira kooti lirwe tulina okuguwuliriza okutandika okuguwulira era bajja kutuyita okukkaanya ku puroguramu nga bw'eneetandika. Bannamateeka kakati tukyalina faamu z'abannamateeka we tutuukidde wano nga ziweze 12. Bannamateeka abali omu tetunnaba kubagattagatta naye tuli mu 25. Mmanyi nti Museveni agenda kusasula looyo omu kubanga yeetegekera nti ezisigaddewo okuziseevinga nga pension. Bw'anaaba ayagala era tusobola okumusondera. Emirembe gya Mukama waffe gibeere nammwe. Sebo njogedde ebintu bingi. Basazeemu okulonda. Balagire Museveni ave mu bululu bwa Uganda tadda. Balagire amagye gave mu bululu bwa Uganda tegalina mu business. Balagire ba RDC bave mu bululu bwa Uganda tebalina mu business. Bagambe nti akalulu tukaddemu. Tetwagala bingi. N'ekirala Museveni atunde ku nteeza atusasule. Ebintu bino ebimu kkooti era yabiragira mu mwaka ogwo.
Yes, tugambye babaddemu babalagire n'okuleeta amabago agatereeza amateeka ga Uganda. Tetujja kukoowa kuwaliriza nampulira zibi okukola ki kyalina okukola. Naye tekyeraliikiriza ffe kkooti eragira Attorney General mu mwezi gw'omukaaga nga tuli mu gavumenti tujja kuleeta amateeka ago.
Briefly in English, those recommendations, some of them were made in 2016.
Yes, they made those recommendations which some Ugandans did not have the capacity to execute, even when they occupy those high offices. So the hope is this, if we get that reinforcement, because in June this year we shall be in government.
Basewo ne bannyabo mwebale kubeerako ekiriwo kyekyo kyennyini.
Okay, kwe kubadde okwogera gwe omulungi abadde ku Sama Uganda page. Bwekiti bwe kibadde
baloya bagumu nti bannange Yoseri Butayasi.
All right, let me hope you heard very well what's going on. Yes, the case has been filed, and of course we are going to wait when the hearing is going to be. We don't know the exact date, but just like Honorable Segona, our lawyer, just like he has said, the Supreme Court is going to communicate. Yes, the Supreme Court is going to communicate when, and then it is going to, of course, invite the legal team of NUP, informing it of when to come back to court for case hearing. All I can say to you, the struggle is still very, very ripe. Very ripe.
Okay,
I was giving you that highlight from Medali Segona. I don't know what happened to the sound. I don't know whether it is okay or it's not okay. Eish, I don't know. No, for those who just joined in, I think you found the Uganda version. The English version was the first one, as in when the lawyer Medali Segona was briefing the press. He started with the English version, and then later on he translated whatever he said in Uganda. I don't know. I think I'll have to clear my sound. I don't know what's going on. 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 Come on, come on, come on. Do you guys get me well? Is the sound clear? Leon mobile chiri okay. Okay, perfect. Ogambe chiri okay. Nsubire nti temuli glitches. Wali wadi mungambi nti sound is poor. Nengezeza kokola some changes. Wembadde nkubira that audio. Let me hope it is clear. That is the situation. So, in brief, within something like less than 2 months, within 2 months, we are going to get to know. Actually, let me give you how the petition, the front pages look like. They look like this. Where they look like this. Hey, which format are they? Let me first check. Oh no, they are not going to come. They're in a different format. So, but it reads. Let me see. It reads in the Supreme Court of Uganda at Kampala in the matter of the Presidential Act 2005 as amended. And in the matter of presidential election petition rules, and in the matter of the presidential elections held on the 14th January of January 2021, presidential election petition number 1 of 2021 2021, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert petitioner versus Yoweri Museveni Tibuhaburwa Kaguta. That is number 1. Number 2, Electoral Commission, and then number 3, Attorney General. So respondents, notice of presentation of petition to Yoweri Museveni Tibuhaburwa Kaguta. Number 2, Electoral Commission, and then number 3, Attorney General. Take note that Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert has filed a petition against you in court. You are hereby required to file an answer within 10 days after the petition has been served on you. Should you fail to file the answer on or before the date above mentioned, the petitioner, that is Kyagulanyi, may proceed with the petition, which may be determined in your absence. So, given under my hand and seal of this honorable court, this first day of February 2021, Registrar, jointly drawn and filed by Lukwago and the company advocates. So, that was the volume 1 of the petition. Of course, there were 25 books. Don't remember very well. So, that's how it was. Dominic Kadu Pro, JB sound is clear now. Okay, I think in Jaganangam setting is wasted. So, all I can say to you, the struggle is as fresh as it was at the beginning, because the dictator is still clinging on power. We haven't taken him out, but all you need to get to know, dictators always fall. Yeah, change is a fact of life. Anytime the dictator is going to succumb to the pressure, because actually today, let me show you what this guy was saying. The assistant yeah, actually I also put up that update on our Facebook page. Here it is. Let me share my screen and you see. This is it. The Deputy Inspector General of Police, Inspector General of Police, fear and panic among the public by fear-mongering using social media platforms. Now, and then you wonder, this is the guy who is, warning politicians. Good enough, I'm not a politician, so he's not warning me. So he's saying they are warning politicians and groups that are promoting fear and panic among the among the public by fear-mongering using social media platforms. And then this is what I had to say, because guys, look, I had, and we all know, social media is still inactive. Response came. I saw this thing and I was so annoyed, because this intimidation doesn't work in this century. No way. How long are we going to live like slaves in our country? We have been tortured, jailed for no reason. Our brothers Mutwe, Nubinali, and very many others are still detained in Communicado. They are still in detentions, in torture chambers across this country. They have killed, murdered innocent Ugandans. Justice for our brothers and sisters. The likes of Franka, the likes of Yasin Kauma, Rita Nabukenya, Dani Cheyune, Sweet Pepsi, very many others. Justice has not been served yet. You guys kidnap Ugandans using drones. Man, actually the recent kidnap was, our brother was whisked away, Kenneth Mukasha. No one knows where he is. You rig elections in broad daylight and you expect the temperature to be lukewarm? No, it will always be extremely hot, because the will of Ugandans was stepped on. So by Ugandans are critically watching. The only solution for this is for the will of Ugandans to be respected. So these guys are warning politicians who are promoting fear and panic among the public by fear-mongering using social media. I wonder, because he's quoting social media platforms, but as we speak right now, social media is still blocked. Social media is still blocked. Now, these are the guys that woke up one day and they imposed a tax on social media. You have to pay 200 shillings every day in order to access Facebook, to access WhatsApp, to access Twitter, to access Instagram, to access any social media platform, to access any app in the domain of social media. Away from that, they went ahead and blocked social media. But still, they can feel the heat. I think this should communicate to them that people are tired, man. People are fed up. All avenues have been blocked. Their only avenue is to use here and say out, what they feel, and then they're still warning. I believe this should communicate to them something, that people are tired and they are willing to do anything they can to bring the non-fictional socio-economic and political change that have been yearning for the past 35 years. This should communicate to them something, because they block social media. Guys, they block social media. Do you know what they said? They said in order to activate social media again, they are going to first draft a specific number, the social media users to follow. Other strict laws. Remember, now we have to pay a tax of 200 Ugandan shillings, but now they are going to add more strict laws for those using social media. But I can tell you, nothing can stop an idea whose time has come. Nothing, absolutely nothing. That's why you go ahead and put a tax on social media. You go ahead and arrest those using VPN. No VPN, and then you block it. But still, people find a way. So people will always find a way to express what they feel. The only solution for this is for the will of Ugandans to be respected. Once the will of Ugandans is respected, you won't see this again. You won't see people promoting fear. But I think this guy should also rest his head and do other things, because social media is blocked. how is he going to explain to Ugandans that why are you using social media to, you know, promote Fiambongali when social media is blocked in Uganda? How? So that is it. I don't know which type of food they eat such that we don't give it to our people, because it's absurd. You come out to claim that people are using social media to promote fear-mongering, yet the government blocked social media. So how can you explain that? Maybe someone should explain to me that. What dealing on about you? Anyway, those are the 1986 brains. So we are the 21st century youths. We are the .com youths taking on the 1986 bandits. Atengera chigenda kubeera. So guys, allow me stop here and see what's going on the other side. I think I've managed to give you a few updates that I wanted to give you. Our brother Kasolo Alton of Jinja City managed to win that case. That was very nice of him, and thanks the people of Jinja. People of Jinja. So they are confused, Helene. Yeah, they are confused. They are confused. That they confuse the confusers. Katobate fe tubera bak. Oba tuba confusing oba kati fe tubere bachi ba confusey or ba confuser, because I'm very sure they are the confusers. They blocked social media and then they come out to say that they are warning those using social media to promote fear mongering. So who is talking, you know, in brief, who is on the right side of the coin? Because the fact of the matter, social media is still blocked. And they are still drafting strict laws in order, I mean, before they, you know, reconnect it. Nze nange binsobera olumu. Binsobera. But I think I'm not going to just go like that. Let me leave you with this message Kyagulanyi gave to let me just come back with it and let it just be a live broadcast on its own. Okay guys, have a lovely night, a lovely morning, wherever you're watching this from. Peace and love.